Welcome to the dojo. Today I'm going to show you how to transform into a Super Saiyan with Photoshop, of course. Let's get started. First of all, choose a picture. I suggest you to pick an image where the hair don't go over the forehead, as you see over here, because it's just going to be a little bit harder to work on it. But in case you have a picture like this one I have, you need to first remove the hair. So here's how we're going to do it. Go a little bit closer first. First problem we see is that here we have one eyebrow, but we don't see the other one. So how to fix that? Let's simply take our lasso tool and select this portion of his face. We close the selection and we duplicate it with Command J or Control J. And now that we have the separate selection, we click Command T to free transform, right click, flip horizontally, and we try to match it on the other side. So if you want to be really precise, you can lower the fill here on the right so you can see what's underneath. And so you can go and place it in the right position, put the fill back to 100 and click OK. And you see now we have this right side of the face that is matching, but we only need to replace the top part, otherwise the eye is going to look a little bit strange. So we apply a mask. To apply it in reverse, we click the Option or Alt key and click on the mask. And now we have a black mask. And now we take a brush, just a really soft one, select white as a color, and just start painting inside our mask, just to reveal this portion of the eyebrow. And yeah, and since we're here, we can get a little bit more of this forehead. All right, looks already pretty good. Maybe this will be a little bit higher. Yep, seems good. And now to clean up the rest of the forehead, the fastest method for me is just to simply use a brush tool. So we create a new layer, grab our brush tool, we grab a brush that is really soft, and then we start picking colors from the head. So to pick a color, when we have the brush selected, you simply push down the Option or Alt key, and you can see that the cursor becomes a color picker. So this way you can simply pick a color, and when you release the Alt or Option key, you are back in the brush. So it's really fast doing it this way. So let's pick a color, say here, and then start painting here on top. And then just to try to pick always the right color that matches the portion you're coloring on, and slowly try to fill this area to remove all this hair. This is because we're trying to make it into a Super Saiyan, and as you know, Super Saiyan have their hair up in the air, so we need to reveal the forehead. And we keep going like this. Remember to always select a color nearby, and yeah, because otherwise it's gonna look a little bit strange. But if you go really slowly and with a soft brush, it's gonna look really good. So you can see how already with a couple of brush strokes, I'm already removing all this portion of hairs. Remember to remove it also here from the side. And yeah, you can go even multiple times on the same spot, just trying to pick always the right color. Okay, let's remove as much as we can, because we're not gonna need any of those hair anyway. And even if it goes a little bit wider than how it should be, no worries, because we're gonna rebuild the hair anyway. Okay, I think this is probably enough. Let's have a look. Yeah, as you can see, just before and after, we cleaned up the whole forehead portion. Maybe we need a little bit more over here. Yeah, that's pretty good. So now, once the forehead is clean, we need to build a new hairline, and we need a picture for doing this thing. So in this case, I downloaded this picture. Just open it here. And the reason why I'm using this picture is that, as you can see, this guy in this picture already has his hair up. So you can see his hairline. It's more similar to the hair of a Super Saiyan. So they're just gonna be up in the air. You can already take a picture of you like this, or just try to find an image where maybe there's a guy jumping and where his hair are this way, or maybe a guy with, I don't know, lots of hair in his face, so the hair are up in the air. So we make a selection, like a really rough one. We copy and paste it on our document. As you can see, it's obviously too big, it's not in the right position. So to fix that, we first turn it into a smart object, right click, convert to smart object, and then Ctrl-T or Command-T to resize it and rotate and lower a little bit the fill so we can place it in the right position. So the only thing we need to consider is this hairline. So don't be confused by the eyes and the eyebrows. Just try to put the hairline in a position that would work for your image. Let's make it bigger. And okay, it looks all right to me. Let's put it back to 100. Click OK, and see what happens when we mask it out. So again, here we click to create a mask, but we want a reverse mask. So we keep the Option or Alt key down and click on mask. Now with the mask selected, take the brush tool, select white, and we paint the hairline over here. As you can see, we're basically building a new hairline for our picture. So a little bit more, just to have a better look. Let's zoom out. It looks good. It's probably a little bit too low, so we can simply move it. And it looks alright. Maybe it needs to be a little bit bigger. Okay, and you can also give specific shapes to these hairlines. So right now, we're just gonna use this simple, the shape exactly how it was in the original picture, but you can distort it however you want. So for example, let's go back selecting the whole image. We click Ctrl-T or Command-T, and if we click this button up here, yeah, of course it's not available because you have a mask applied, but I'm gonna show you how it works if you want to do that. So in this case, I'll just duplicate the layer, Command-J, and to apply it all, create a new layer, select both and click Command-E or Ctrl-E. So now we have one single layer. Now Command-T or Ctrl-T, so to free transform. And then if we click here on this free transform, we can easily distort this whole portion and make it exactly the shape we wanted. So then you can click OK and then refine it again. Yeah, but in this case, I like it how it was originally. So remove that layer and keep this one. Just call it hairline. Oops. Start renaming the layer actually. This is forehead. And this is just eyebrow. So we got these three layers here. That's perfect, already looks really good. And now let's build the shape of the hair. To do that, I'll just use the lasso tool because it doesn't need to be too precise. It just needs to have the right overall shape. So we click on the lasso tool. I'll just pick the first one. That is the freehand one. And just create a new layer. And let's just go and draw the hair how we think they are. So I know more or less how the hair of a Super Saiyan is. Let's zoom out a little bit. And their shape is more or less like this. So they got some spiky lines. Go up here, then go down again. All right, now we close the selection. As you see, we selected this whole portion. And we go down here and create a new adjustment layer. In this case, we create a solid color layer. The reason we do this is because when we create a solid color, we have the option to easily change the color afterward. So let's just pick a yellow color that works for us. I would say that this one looks good. So if you want to use the same color, just use this code down here and click OK. And okay, now we get the selection of the hair. Now we need to clean up the borders with a brush. So what I mean is that we need to remove the hair from this part over here. So we need to reveal the face. So let's deselect the layer of the hair for now, and just make a more precise selection of the parts of the face we want to keep. So to do that, we use the pen tool this time, and just wanna go around the neck, and here around the jaw, and around the ears. And don't worry about this portion because we're gonna clean it up. Let's say it goes like this, and then the hair, yeah, this is more or less the shape. You can go also a little bit faster with the hair, just because we're gonna fix them later. It's just important to keep the ears and this side of the jaw and the neck really clean. So we close the selection, and now we with this vector mask, we need to turn it into a selection. So we click Command Return or Control Return. We have a selection now. Now re-show the hair layer, select the mask, and with the black color in the foreground, we click Option Delete or Alt Delete. This way we fill this portion of the mask with black. Now we deselect, Command D, and this is a really rough idea, but it's already a very, very good start. What we need to do now is to clean those these borders of our hair. Let's start first with the portion that are around our face. So we select the mask of the hair, just call this hair. Select the mask, and we want to use here the smudge tool. So we just pick a quite big brush for the smudge tool. So start with a big brush because I want to first fix those borders. So with a big brush, just move, see those borders inside, so they're a little bit smooth and a little bit more matching the actual image. Do the same on this other side. Looks good. Okay, so jaw and neck and ears are already good. And now we need a very small brush, still really soft. And this time we want to smooth things a little bit. Try to give him a shape we would like to have. So just go really fast here. We're gonna fix it later. Actually, just keep the side of it because the top one is gonna be fixed in another way. So just work on these sides. Okay. And for the top, we can go back to a bigger brush and try to move it higher because we actually have already a nice hairline made with the previous picture we blended in. So what we can actually do here is to remove this portion of the hair. So we go back with a brush, big soft brush with black selected, and we erase this portion. As you can see, we got the real hair coming out, and that's more or less what we're gonna use. And if we want to re-add hair, we just simply invert the colors and use the white to paint them back in. Just try to find a good compromise. All right, this looks good. And now we fix the outside part of the hair. So again, we pick the smudge tool, a very small one, again really soft, and now we have fun making this hair more realistic. So just go over this whole side, and you see we just go and have fun. It's a little bit like children's paint, just using their fingers. And yeah, we really need to smudge this whole portion to make it look like they're actual hairs. Yeah, it looks nice. And we keep doing this for the whole perimeter. So the whole portion of the hair. And try to give a little bit of variation. So for example, you always go in the same direction, but then you can maybe have one that goes a little bit off, or maybe it goes outside. This helps to give a little bit more realism to the whole piece. Let's keep doing this. So let's do this part really quickly. You still need to be precise, but you can still do it step by step. So first have a really good starting point with really realistic looking hair, and then we can fix it. We can fix all those parts that are a little bit odd. And to do this, I'm always using a tablet, a Wacom tablet. You can still do it with the mouse. It's just gonna take a little bit longer, but it's definitely possible. Okay, we smudged all the hair. It still look a little bit strange. I think that's a problem with the shape. So again, we just use the smudge tool still. And maybe a bigger one and try to fix the portion we don't really like. Here, for example, or here. And if we want to change the overall shape, we can still use a fit transform. So Command T, and this time we can use this distortion over here. Try to give a more precise shape to what you actually want. Just be mindful that we're moving this whole mask over here. So if you move stuff around, just be careful. Just make sure they still work. Okay, it looks a little bit better now. And maybe I'll just use the smudge tool a little bit more to have some more variation over here. But yeah, it looks already nice. Okay, as you can see here, it's pretty much blended already on the hairline, but we can still use a little bit of the smudge tool to follow the lines of the real hair we have. So we try to follow it a little bit, so just to have a cleaner transition that is not just a soft gradient. We can soften it up with a bigger smudge tool. All right, looks really good. Now we need to include the eyebrows, and to do that we use the same layer of hair and we use a simple brush. So we grab a brush, soft and small, and painting with white, I want to include the eyebrows. So we just color inside the eyebrows very slowly. Just include the middle part of eyebrows. Try to make it stronger on these portions over here, the ones that are closer to the center of the face, because that's usually where there are more hair, and in this case more hair means a bigger glow. So try to include all the areas you want, and then again we can use a small smudge tool to make it look a little bit more realistic. Yep, and do it also on the other side. And we can again go back with the brush and fill again so it's a little bit more clean. As you can see, just one simple layer already added all the yellow hair and eyebrows. It looks quite good. And we now need to blend the hair a little bit better, and to do that we use a color balance. So simply create a new color balance adjustment layer over here. And what we want to do is to increase the red and increase the yellow. So let's do it a little bit like this. Okay, don't worry about seeing everything now going orange. What we're gonna do is to reverse this mask. So we click Command I or Control I. Now we grab a brush, soft white brush, and we just apply it to the portion we want to blend. So this portion of the hair over here, as you can see, go a little bit bigger. This also helps us to give a little bit of the glow effect. We do this here, and we do this on the eyebrows too. As you can see. And if we see before and after, you can see that now the hair are integrated a little bit better. It feels more like it's a darker section of the Super Saiyan hair. So yeah, it still feels like a realistic hairline. But yeah, now the color is a little bit more integrated. Okay, now we've done this whole thing with hair and eyebrows. We need to change the color of the eyes. So to do that, create a new layer, go closer to the eyes, we grab our brush tool, and we select the color. In this case, I want this type of light blue. So select it, go with a small brush, and color this way. I want to add color to, let's say, outside the pupil. So we just do it like this. And same thing on the other eye. Okay, it looks nice. And now I want to reduce the fill a lot. So it just needs to be a touch. And then we create a second layer. And we do the same thing, but this time just in a more lower part. Both sides. And reduce again till we're happy. And then we do it the third time. It just gives a really slowly, just really slow touch of color. That is what we need to make it look realistic. And we can even add another layer, this time with white, with the hard brush, and just to add a little dot over here and a little dot over here, just to make the eyes look more shiny. And we can even reduce the feel of this white dot just a little bit. Okay, now we've got also the eyes. We can group this, Command G, and call this eyes. And now, last step, we want the hair and the eyes to glow. And I'll just show you a simple trick to do that. So we first create a new layer. We grab the brush tool, big and soft. And I just want to pick colors from the areas that need to glow. So for example, if I want to add glow outside the area, what I'm gonna do is click here on this portion. So we click exactly on the color of the hair. And I just wanna paint with that color slowly around all the portions that needs to glow a little bit. And also have a bigger one, depending on where we want more or less glow. And have it here over the hair, over the hairline. And we can do the same thing here on the eyebrows. So just remember to use a really low intensity. So if you're using a tablet, you need just to push really with low intensity. Otherwise, if you're using a mouse, you can just reduce the opacity of the brush over here. I think around 20% should be good. And then if you want more glow, you just click multiple times on the same spot. And you can see how everything looks like it's glowing. And we can do the same thing on the eyes. This time we pick the color from the eye. In this case, it's probably a little bit too dark. So we open the color picker over there and just pick a brighter blue like this. And again, simply a couple of clicks. And this gives us this really soft glow. So we can call this layer glow. You can see it was really fast and makes the glow effect really realistic. And that's it. This is how you transform into a Super Saiyan. You can then also include some extra elements. So for example, in my original image, I added some blood and some dirtiness over his face. I included also glow and a different background. But that's just whatever you like. I'm very curious to see all your results, so share them on Instagram and tag the Dojo Tutorials. And if you like this video, give us a like and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thank you for joining the dojo.